Welcome to the Michigan UFO Sightings and Paranormal Encounters podcast, where we explore the unexplained and mysterious phenomena that have occurred throughout the state of Michigan and beyond.
From UFO sightings to ghostly encounters, we delve deep into the stories, the evidence, and the theories behind these strange events.
We are your hosts. I'm Michelle.
And I'm Wayne.
We are an educator duo that after an encounter with a triangular UFO in 2018 in Michigan, we decided to investigate UFOs and the paranormal. In this podcast, we will be speaking with eyewitnesses, experts, and researchers to uncover the truth about some of the most intriguing cases of paranormal activity in and around Michigan.
Our goal is not to convince anyone of the existence of these phenomena, but rather to provide a platform for discussion and exploration. So, buckle up and join us on this journey down the paranormal rabbit hole.
On an escalator.
Okay, hello everyone.
Hey everyone.
It is Sunday, the 3rd of August, 2025, and we are really hiding out in our secret bunker deep within the shadow of the great Motor City, Detroit, Michigan, where the Wi-Fi is haunted and the coffee tastes slightly possessed. Yeah.
Just a little bit tonight.
Just a little bit. In just a few minutes, we're going to dive headfirst into some horrific news that'll make your third eye twitch, followed by a journey into strange interstellar objects showing up in the solar system yet again. So whether you're tuning in from the woods of Dogman Country, orbiting above in a cloaked triangle, that's not funny, man, or just trying to make sense of that thing you saw in your backyard last night, you're in the right place. So buckle up, folks. The static's getting louder, the veil's getting thinner, and tonight, reality just call in sick. So,
it's definitely calling in sick tonight.
It's bizarre, people. It's bizarre. So thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight. But, you know, we always got to take care of this housekeeping stuff. So Michelle,
remember, if you have a story that you would like to tell, or if you would like to get a hold of us at the podcast, you can do so by emailing us at mi.ufo.podcast@gmail.com.
That's right. And also, if you'd like to support the podcast, you can do so with PayPal Super Chats, buy us a coffee, check out our merchandise store, or join the Patreon. All of those links can be found below in the show description. If you do decide to become a YouTube member or a Patreon member, you will get a shout out during the intro and be listed in the credits at the end of the show as a special thank you for your support.
And remember, if you have not already done so, make sure that you smash that like button. Don't just click like, smash the like button, subscribe, share us out. If you're over on Rumble, jump on over to YouTube, click join over here too, and then go back over to Rumble.
Maybe if you sign up and maybe, send us a super chat. This one mouthy cat we have over here that decided to start bothering us as soon as we started our live stream.
He knows.
Maybe he'll stop and we can afford to buy him some treats. So he'll go away.
He's got treats. These cats are so spoiled.
Yeah. All right. And remember, you can also find this show on audio podcast host everywhere. Look us up on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, among others. Get over there and follow the audio version of the show and leave us a review. It helps the show grow. So tonight is going to be...
I feel like we're discussing things that were on our bingo card.
Yes and no. I mean, this is some weird stuff going on in... once again, for this weekend, you just have us as the guest, and we're going to cover some creepy paranormal news.
We've got some things in the works, though.
Oh, yeah. We'll talk about that at the end of the show. So stick around to the end of the show.
We'll give some little hints along the way.
Yep.
So we can't get too deep into it because then that would kill the fun and excitement later on down the road.
And we've got certain disclosure things and stuff we can't talk about just yet. So it'll be a big show. It's going to be bigger than when Randall Carlson was on. So that's all I can say. All right, Michelle, let's take this dive into the.
Now, lately it's been for me kind of like the true crime. I love watching my true crime stuff, and I had been following a particular case.
Oh, we both have, because it's close.
That came out of my hometown, literally just say a mile and a half from where I teach. And there was a young girl, 8 years old, who was the mother charged for fatally abusing this child, claiming that she was possessed. And so the mother, over the course of a couple days, this child became unalived. And so it went through the court system and hadn't heard anything. So this was March 19th of 2024. And over time, it went on and couldn't find anything more about the whole possession, except for the initial newspaper articles and news articles online that said that the mother was claiming that the child was possessed. So the mother was just recently, before the judge, took a little over a year, but the judge sentenced the mother. The articles read that the Wayne mother sentenced to at least 28 years in prison. Now, I watched the court proceedings, and it's 28 to 50 years. So whether or not she will ever meet any sort of appeal or release from prison, who knows? So, but if you are into true crime and ever want to see anything so horrible, it is the Wayne mother that was sentenced to 28 years for the death of her 8-year-old daughter. And the little girl.
Are you going through the article?
Okay, so this is. So a mother was sentenced on Monday in connection with the death of her 8-year-old daughter. And if you want to pull up the picture, click on the article, you can see her picture. On March 16th, 2024, police were called to a home on Phyllis Street in Wayne and found an unresponsive child in a bedroom. Police said that she had significant bruising and swelling to her head and neck. And prosecutors said that the injuries made the child unrecognizable based off of photos and her school photo. She was taken to the local hospital, which is just down the road, where she was pronounced deceased.
Insane, dude. Absolutely insane.
And what, besides the fact that this is my hometown that this happened, and the fact that the mom had said that her daughter was possessed, but somehow, so right here, the authorities said Chelsea Duperon, 30, assaulted her daughter on March 13th, causing injuries that led to her death. Duperon initially told police her daughter fell down the stairs. Authorities said the girl likely would have survived had she received medical treatment on the day of the alleged assault, but the mom instead went to the store and bought diapers for her and alcohol. So that was interesting. That came out in the court proceedings.
Dude.
Police said her boyfriend informed him that she said a spirit or ghost had been making her feel crazy. So maybe it wasn't the child that was possessed. Maybe it was the mom. So she was initially charged with felony murder and first-degree child abuse. She pled guilty to second-degree murder on July 1st of this year. So, and again, she was sentenced on July 28th to 28 to 50 years. So when I say that I hope that mom rots in prison, I absolutely hope she rots in prison, because Michigan does not have the unalive policy. Or penalty.
The unalive penalty. Yeah. Absolutely insane, dude.
Now, Wayne always tells me not to crash out on this article, but it bothers me because this child would have been one of my students at some point before I retired. And the fact that the elementary school that she went to, I actually used to work at. I was a subcontractor for Bright Futures. I used to teach Zumba to the little kids. So, but the year 2020 kind of demolished that. All the in-person stuff. But yep. So that's
the first little bit of
boy, I'll tell you.
absolute creepiness that's going on.
Well, then there was that church thing in Wayne too. Just a
Mhm.
crazy thing for my hometown that literally is just a small suburb that was like never in the news.
It's just odd, right? That the mom, and you've heard about this kind of stuff before, but that the mom was claiming that either the child was possessed by demons,
And then
or
the
she
boyfriend says
was.
that the mom
Mom's-
was possessed
yeah.
or a spirit. Well, yeah, she went to the store to get alcohol. Those are her spirits.
I mean, what do you guys think? Let us know in the chat, or in the comments in the video below. Do you think that's even possible? I mean, we've had Gemma Jade on here, and she talks about these things and true crimes and
like dark energy
and stuff. So, just let us know what you guys think.
I have way too much of a late energy for that sort of stuff. But somehow I'm completely intrigued by listening to some of these things and digging into them. But that one,
that
who
one's
knows?
rough.
And
see,
that's
the
work for the psychologists.
When we tell people, we're teachers, and what happens to the kids, how it affects us, and how, all the kids that we are involved with and teach and see every day, and and then stuff like that happens. There's a perfect example that little girl would have been a student of yours this year. So,
well, not this year,
or
but
next year.
No, in a few years. When she reached about 11 years old.
Oh, she was okay. Yeah, I was thinking she was 8th grade. Never mind.
No,
not 8 years old.
8 years old.
Yeah.
So, well, speaking of teachers,
things get creepier.
We can't ignore the fact that just how long ago was it? 4 years ago now that we talked to Terry Lovelace?
Yes.
So, our first encounter with any sort of stories out of Devil's Den, Arkansas was with Terry Lovelace approximately 4 years ago. It was episode 6, I believe.
Yep.
So we're talking 130 episodes ago that we had spoke to Terry about the encounter that he and his friend had while they were camping in Devil's Den. And then lo and behold, within the last, couple weeks, last 10 days, we are hit with complete craziness over the teacher who had bounced around between 4 different schools or 4 different school districts between Oklahoma, Texas, and then into Arkansas, I believe.
Yeah.
And
so this is
always passed his background checks.
This is the article right here. Teacher arrested for Arkansas double murder, admits to killing married couple.
So
police.
I look at that picture and I'm like, there's no way that guy was a teacher. So, and unfortunately, this is another thing that I'm going down the rabbit hole, watching all of these, different videos, reading different reports, because the negativity towards teachers because of one man has surfaced again. It almost seems like every August there is a teacher out there that does something just stupid. This one is just heinous and gets into the media spotlight. So then everyone kind of raises an eyebrow and wonders, what sort of person is in the classroom with my child? Well, I can tell you that this is someone who obviously has suffered from some severe mental health issues through the years that did not go recognized if he was able to, pass through their background checks. I was telling my husband, there's something new that my district has. It's literally a 90 question, almost like a personality test. So that scores what type of person is entering the classroom.
Yep.
So, but more districts should have something like that.
Okay, so let me throw a couple things out there, Michelle, and I want to get your thoughts on it. And people, again, comment after we post the video, your thoughts on it. There's a couple things that go through my mind. First of all, how we always tell people, don't listen to stereotypes, right? Don't generalize. But it seems like when a teacher is a bad actor, right, does something wrong, sometimes SA, quote unquote, right, involvement with students. Been seeing a lot of female special education teachers getting involved and getting in trouble, right? Um, but I'll tell you what, people really don't listen to their own words when they say don't generalize, because teaching is the one profession that it seems like it's okay to generalize that all teachers are the same. Like this guy that you see
Well,
over there.
I'll tell you, it's one profession where we spend 100% of the time underneath a microscope.
Oh yeah.
So from the public, from parents,
Supervisors,
admins,
administration,
supervisors, we are always
the
under a
union,
microscope.
right?
But this one, it just has me baffled as far as what his motive would have been. I know they say that he says that it was completely random, or it was random.
Yeah, we'll go through the article here in a minute.
But it's going to be interesting the more that they dig.
Yeah.
Well,
let me throw something else out at you. So we shouldn't be generalizing, not all truck drivers are bad, or, not all cats meow constantly when you're trying to live stream, right? You don't want to generalize. But here's something to think about. If you think about, and the number of teachers over the years has just been decreasing so much that they are getting desperate to have people in the classroom to become teachers.
Ding, ding,
now,
ding.
Let's think about this for a minute. I think the latest census or idea about how many people are in the United States is around 400 million. And that's probably being a little on the conservative side, right? About 400 million people live in this country. And then we've got places like Israel, which are the size of like New Jersey, and that's a whole country, right? And the European countries and stuff. So this is what I want people to think about. You have 400 million people in this country. Let's say, 150 million are kids in school. That's a lot of kids that are in school every year. And also a lot of teachers are needed, and people are needed, not just teachers. I mean, these schools are like self-contained cities anymore. But when you start looking at the huge pool of people you are drawing, statistically, teachers from, students from, parapros from, lunch people, janitors, custodian. When you look at all of the people that it takes to make one school function, and all of the people you are drawing from, and I think that's kind of why we have to go to college to get a 4-year degree to be a teacher, not because of the content, but to see if we will stick it out and be able to make it and to do something like this. But when you're drawing from so many people, the statistical chances of finding bad people are pretty high, right? I mean, I don't know, Michelle, what do you think?
If we are talking, we're talking about the teaching pool. So in this particular guy, did well in college, went through, I think it was Oklahoma State University. Again, nothing ever on his record, even though there are things in his file as far as with the evaluations that would have raised some red flags, at least in my district, it would have.
Yeah.
And if we're talking on the subject of like, the good versus evil or good versus bad, and whether a district or a state is unionized or not, there are great teachers out there. There are good teachers out there, and there are shitty teachers out there. And I've seen all three. In my 25 years, I have seen all three facets that walk. Now, fortunately, I can say the staff that I work with now, if you guys are listening, we're in the good and great. So I don't see that third category anymore. I want to call it the third subgroup. But this boy, what was it, a year or two ago, we were, watching a couple teachers that got busted for an OnlyFans page.
Yeah. Right? I mean, come on.
This is like,
that's what I'm talking about.
I'll take things I would never believe for 600 Alex.
All right. So I just looked up the statistics real quick, just so everybody can get an idea. All right. About 1%. So 1% out of 100 is a psychopath. That's pretty much what the percentage is. About 1% out of every 100 is a psychopath or has psychopathic tendencies, or maybe a sociopath, right? 1 out of 100. How many people does it take to have one school running? Right? I mean, that's what I'm saying, is that statistically, just like if you're an auto worker, how many people are working for the automotive industry?
Well, and I think that's why the interview process for schools has gotten a lot more extensive. Yeah. Like, it's not simply a one and done.
Yeah.
When I say that they do digging into your past, present, and future nowadays, at least up here they do. Obviously, the desperation for teachers in the southern states, and I see it on different teacher groups that I'm on. Yeah. When I say that they're picking anyone from the pool that will catch the line, they weren't joking with this one. And so, what was it? Straw Dog had said that, wondering if there's anything else that they're going to, will they find out that this was not his first? Who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, covering the license plate with duct tape, check the backyard for little mounds for buried animals. I mean, they usually starts with that.
But was it MK Ultra activation?
Yeah, because between Manhattan, between what happened in Reno at the casino, and then this one right after, this was like boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
So, and as soon as this case happened, Wayne was like MK Ultra.
Yeah.
Like all the psychopaths are being activated.
See, look at what Dorothy says. Can't believe that guy was a teacher, but there was nothing in his background.
Yeah. So, and I don't think he spent long enough in education. Like 4 different districts, you're not even setting up any roots anywhere to establish anything. It's like either he was resigning or they were asking him to resign instead of, being fired or let go. Because there are things in his evaluation folder. They had already talked about it. But then I had also said to Wayne, what is it about Devil's Den State Park? Because, I started doing some digging into, the history of why there. I mean, and Devil's Den State Park, that's not the only location where something is called Devil's Den, or we hear about the Devil's Tree. There's always that dark entity around it. Well, this is a 2,200 acre state park. So it is increasingly large, where you've got, little cottages and all the hiking and the water and the rocks and all the, the wilderness. But I mean, when you look back at Wayne, click on that one Encyclopedia of Arkansas.
Okay.
It's the article right above.
Gotcha. There we go. All right. Got it.
So this is a park that contains the largest sandstone crevice. I'm not reading the whole article, but just some key things.
Yeah.
Contains the largest sandstone crevice cave area in the country. It is very popular for the recreational opportunities and was designated natural area by the Arkansas Natural Heritage Commission. Let's see.
Why is it called Devil's Den? What started this? That's what I want to know.
There were a couple different stories about that. I know that this is area around the Ozarks. I know that
there had to be something creepy, or I doubt it's going to be on the actual state park.
Well, there are stories of people who were hiking or camping in that area that had like heard groans or smelled like, you know, a sulfurous or like an odd odor.
Okay.
But it has something to do with one of the cave systems there that it's let me dig. Okay, the longest Devil's Den cave extending 550 feet into the hillside. So if you take a look, see chat.
Yeah, there's see, look at what Dorothy says. Exactly. We've got Devil's Lake here in Wisconsin. Yeah, and we have the Devil's Tree, right? Just
the demon tree.
The demon tree.
Yeah.
The demon tree. Right? And then there's Devil's Tower out in Wyoming. So it's very interesting why things get labeled.
Nope, this one it got its name from in the surrounding area from early settlers. So and that it was associated with the devil.
Man.
So it's just a name that
So
was
they
given
just
over
tied it.
time. So they and this is what I thought, that they had believed that the steam rising out of one of the caves was a sign to the devil, like it was some sort of like passageway.
But then the geyser in Yellowstone is called Old Faithful, not Devil's Faithful Breath Blast or something. Like a Pokemon card.
Because this hot steam, I mean, come on, it's early in the morning. Mornings are cold. So even in the South, but the steam from this particular, you know, cave system or the water below would come up, hit the cold morning air. It's like, oh,
yeah,
it's Satan himself.
Yeah, scary. Why don't we go through this article a little bit and read the actual story about this guy, and then we'll move on to some lighter topics.
No, it's not. It's not lighter yet, dude.
All right, let's go. Go ahead.
Are we going? Are we going into?
No, let's go over this teacher a little bit.
Ew.
Let's just read the article.
As if everybody has not heard the story all over the place.
Well, you never know.
A 28-year-old teacher has admitted to unaliving.
Yep.
Gotta use my YouTube language. The married couple found stabbed to death on the walking trail in an Arkansas park over the weekend in what appears to be a completely random attack, police said. Andrew James McGann, 28, of Springdale, Arkansas, was charged with 2 counts of capital murder in the killings of 43-year-old Clinton David Brink and his wife, 41-year-old Kristen Amanda Brink, Arkansas State Police announced Wednesday evening.
May they rest in peace. Look at this guy, though, dude. God, come on, man. I'm with Dorothy on this one.
He was mid-haircut when they got him. The Brinks were fatally attacked while out hiking with their 2 daughters at Devil's Den State Park on July 26th. The horrific assault occurred about a half mile into the park, with the husband attacked first. Police said the girls 7 and 9, they were not harmed in the incident, thanks to the actions of their mom. And that was one where, while her husband was being attacked, she got the girls to safety and went back to try to help her husband.
Yep.
And was also attacked.
Yeah.
So
people don't realize how deadly knife fights are. When I used to teach martial arts back in the day, we would practice where, you know, you think you got a good fighting technique down against knives and all that, and then we would practice by taking washable markers, and we'd have one person be the attacker with a marker and go after, you know, the guy in the karate gi or the martial arts outfit, whatever it was we were training. And you'd be surprised how many marks end up on you because you think you're going to control somebody with a knife and stuff. And it's not what you think. The best thing to do is to have, if they've got their fist, you draw a knife. If they have a knife, you draw a gun. If they draw a gun, you run. And you get off, what we used to say in the military, get off the X. Do not be where they're shooting at. So, especially, I don't know.
Well, this was a days long. This was about 5 days of a manhunt where he was arrested before 5 p.m. local time on Wednesday at a barbershop.
Okay, yeah, at a barbershop. So, but how can they say it's random when he had his license plate duct
and
taped?
here's the question. Like, was he just going about his daily, hey, I'm getting ready to go back to school to work with elementary kids, I should probably get my hair cut? Or was it, I did this, now I need to get my hair cut so I don't look like the person who just unalived a couple in the woods? So it's kind of like, is it
going on, man?
Cover up, or just going back to business as usual? Who knows?
Did he know them? I mean, it does not seem random. I don't know. And the fact they had small kids.
I think that he had just moved to that area. He had just taken a job in the area. So there's 1,000 questions.
There is
thousands of questions that we could ask, and this is definitely going to be one. Okay, moving on.
Let's.
So he admitted to it. They had DNA, recovered from the crime scene that matched his DNA. The suspect, he had cuts on his hands during a struggle.
Correct.
So that's dead giveaway when you have wounds on your hands. And then the items that were recovered from his residence were also consistent with being involved in the crime. He had just recently moved to the area from Oklahoma and had been hired to work at a local school there. He was hired to teach at Springdale Public Schools District this upcoming school year, but had not yet begun employment, according to the district superintendent, Jared Cleveland. And the superintendent went on to say that he had not been in contact with any students or families that they serve, and that, no additional information really is available at this time. Let's see. He was a 5th grade teacher in Broken Arrows, Oklahoma. In the 23-24 school year. So there's one school district. He passed all the required background checks. A spokesperson from the school district said the prior year he was employed at an elementary school in Flower Mound, Texas. The Louisville Independent School District confirmed he was placed on administrative leave in the spring of 2023 following concerns related to classroom management, professional judgment, and student favoritism.
Okay.
This is one of those where it's like, read my facial expressions. And I know those listening and not watching this can't necessarily see it, but you typically don't end up with something in your file with student favoritism and classroom management and professional judgment unless it is something really, really serious. And it says, and he ultimately resigned, the school district said. That means he was given 2 choices. We're going to fire you or you resign. That way you keep your teaching certain.
Yeah.
That's an evaluation file that needs to be opened, and it will.
Yep.
Oh, the cops will be digging through that with a fine-tooth comb.
All right, let's move on. Let's move on. Well,
if we didn't
hold on.
I'm telling you, Wayne,
things just keep getting weirder. We need to keep an eye on somebody. We need to watch somebody very closely, and it just so happens to be comedian Matt Rife. That's right. You heard me here. We got to keep an eye out for Matt Rife. Why? Because he is the now new legal guardian of the Annabelle doll.
Okay, so this one, I would have never believed it had I not been. Yesterday, I didn't feel so great. I ate something that I shouldn't have. I'm not allowed to eat jalapenos anymore. So I'm just laying around and I'm watching videos on my phone. There we go. And the TikTok video, yes, Ash, the TikTok video comes up with Matt Rife, who I follow, and he is talking about how he and his buddy Elton are now legal guardians of the Annabelle doll and the Ed and Lorraine Warren estate, where they are even talking about making it into kind of like an Airbnb or a place where you can come do investigations.
Now, which star just recently passed that we saw? Was it Lonnie?
Lonnie Anderson just passed away. Yeah, that's number 4.
That's
again.
4.
Check on your Gen Xers, WKRP in Cincinnati.
And now we've got Matt Rife, who's dipping his toe into the Annabelle.
You just can't make this stuff up.
You can't.
But look at the fact that the previous handler, Dan Rivera, who was on that tour with Annabelle, just is found unalive on his bed in a hotel room.
Yep.
So that, and then all of a sudden, while that becomes quieter news, then we have Matt Rife, who is completely in the spotlight right now. I mean, he's on tour doing shows.
Oh, yeah.
And yet he and his friend Elton purchased the home, museum, and the entire artifact collection of paranormal investigators from Ed and Lorraine Warren's estate. So,
do you want to go through that article?
Oh, he wants to reopen the museum. It's been closed since 2019 for tours. Overnight stays. I can't.
Yeah.
This is the part that was definitely not on my 2025 bingo card.
This is almost like how we react to what they do in Eloise out here at the haunted house and concerts and escape rooms and everything else. And there's bodies buried in that ground.
Yep. So on Friday, August 1st, the comedian announced on TikTok that along with his friend, YouTube creator Elton Castee, he has officially purchased the home and museum of Ed and Lorraine Warren. This includes the famed paranormal investigator's entire haunted collection, Rife said, including the infamous Annabelle doll. In the TikTok, Rife sat down to explain his super random purchase of the Monroe, Connecticut home and museum called the Warrens Occult Museum, as well as the collection of haunted artifacts, which have been fodder for modern horror hits like Annabelle and the Conjuring films. This might be the most important and prominent piece of paranormal history in the world. Ed and Lorraine Warren are who took demonology and ghost hunting and paranormal investing and made it mainstream, Rife said in the TikTok. I know a lot of you guys don't know what any of this means whatsoever, but if you follow ghost stuff, this is about as big as it gets. He's not kidding. Let's see. The comedian went on to explain that he and Castee are now the legal guardians and caretakers of the Warrens' home, as well as the museum and its collection of 750 artifacts. But they don't have permanent ownership, he clarified. It sounded like something that I had read or listened to, that it was like a 5-year deal. I don't know if it's something permanent.
Yeah.
He said, I must go on record.
They spelled it out right here.
Yep.
They don't have permanent ownership.
Yeah. I must go on record and say we do not legally own the items, but we are the legal guardians and caretakers of the items for at least the next 5 years, Rife said. So I don't know, the last handler, caretaker ends up, unalive, and then all of a sudden, a rep for Rife confirmed the purchase as legit in a statement to people on Saturday, August 2nd, while reps for the museum did not immediately respond to people's requests for comment. Like I said, it's all over the place. I just happened to pull it up on people.com.
So let's keep an eye on him. All right. I hope, I like Matt Rife. I hope nothing happens to him, but dude.
Oh, just keep looking. The comedian also shared big plans for the Warrens Occult Museum, whose doors have been closed for several years. It was closed in 2019 for a zoning violation. Soon, the comedian teased in the TikTok, the house will be open for guests with options to visit for a day, night, or entire weekend. The museum, meanwhile, will be open up for tours, he added in the caption, so you yourself can experience and learn all the haunted history surrounding this amazing place. You can take a little friend home with you, too.
Yeah, let's talk hitchhikers.
This is the most random hobby ever, but it's so cool, man.
Effing cool,
man. The comedian said, I should probably collect stamps or something. Might be a little safer.
Yes, dude.
So he has just added new material to his tour without
look at
without
this
even knowing
thing.
it.
Good.
Rife also revealed that he and Castee have been in the Annabelle doll's presence, sharing a photo of the pair with the horror icon, a real antique Raggedy Ann doll. Again, I got one of those too. Supposedly possessed by an inhuman spirit. The New England Society for Psychic Research, which was founded by the Warrens, previously described it as a demonically possessed.
Yep.
Since the Conjuring films thrust Annabelle into the spotlight, the doll, which has been housed at the Connecticut Museum since the 1970s, has left its longtime home in its glass case to make appearances at events and conventions. Yeah, and we already heard how that one went.
Yeah.
There has been stories all over the place. And in May, Annabelle hit the road for the nationwide Devils on the Run tour with Dan Rivera, a senior lead investigator for Nesper. Months into the tour, Rivera died at a hotel in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, and of all places, Gettysburg. At the time, Adams County Coroner Francis Dutro confirmed to people that the doll was not present when he arrived at the scene on July 13th, when authorities were notified about Rivera's death.
Dude, come on, man.
That's just pure craziness. I'm sorry.
Notice how they don't say how he
no,
passed away either.
It is still under investigation.
Oh.
So they have not released any details into Rivera's as far as how he died.
Yeah.
So, and eventually they will, but I'm telling you, of all things to do with your money.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's a tax write-off or he sees it as an investment or something. I have no idea, but
people will pay.
Good, man.
I mean, people will pay for it. Look at the people that were paying. What was it, like $100? The one in Texas, in San Antonio, it was like $100, pass to be able to go, into this tent and stand by the case and have your picture taken with it. Well, you have enough people do that. It's a huge moneymaker.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I guess I just don't think of those things as being something you'd want to make money on or anything. So, man. So anyways, let's switch gears and let's go over to
Are we going into space now?
Yeah, let's go into space with some,
because everything here on Earth is just pure craziness.
Well,
right now.
We're going to talk some quote unquote happiness in outer space or something similar, but Avi Loeb is really ticking people off and saying some things here. Let me get to my article. But and by the way, there is a poll up in the chat. Okay, the article just decided to die on me. Michelle, tell them about the article or the poll, please.
Sorry, I was saying
they won't. They took away my access.
Okay, so the poll. Do you think is that 3i? 3i,
yeah,
or
3i.
the Atlas is an alien craft? So yes or no, guys? Yes or no? It's a yes or no question.
Yep.
So
all right. So if you guys haven't heard, which I think you probably all have heard, because you're probably like us and get caught in some doom scrolling and news things pop up and stuff like that. And this is not the original article that I wanted to talk about, but it's Avi's. So let's use his article here. All right. Keeping our eyes on the ball of 3i Atlas. Yes, indeed. Let's blow this up a little bit. What's the big deal? What is this thing? Well, so far, the new Interstellar Object 3i Atlas appears as a compact ball of light, somewhat larger than the image of background stars that appear point-like because of their much larger distance. We must keep our eyes on the ball rather than on the number of likes we get on social media for opinions about the nature of this interstellar object. As 3i Atlas gets closer to the sun, it will be warmed by absorbing sunlight. If it is indeed a comet similar to 2i Borisov, then its outgassing will result in an extended coma of dust and gas. So basically what's going on here? This is another interstellar object like Oumuamua and Tuai Borazov. I think that's how you say it. So this is like the third one in like 5 years of these strangely shaped objects. Let's see if I can find a better picture of it. Like I said, this is not the original article I wanted to use. There's Avi. No. So basically what we have here is a chunk of rock that has come from outside the solar system. And this chunk of rock, they're naming 3i Atlas because it's the third object that Atlas has located coming through, right? 2i Borazov was the second object, and Oumuamua was the first object. And Oumuamua, I believe, means long traveler or long distance traveler. But so this is an object that is on its way coming through the inner solar system and will get, I don't want to say close to Earth, but projections right now. And again, the map that I wanted isn't working.
And Dorothy in chat said, is that the weird one that's totally a sphere?
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's why I asked, do you think it's a spaceship or alien tech? In the poll that we have running right now in chat. So make sure you go ahead and say, do you think that's an alien craft or not? Because Avi Loeb has said, well, maybe it is, and the media, likes to present his ideas as that's something that he's thinking. And he says right in his paper that he's using it as a thought experiment, not that he believes it's alien technology, but they're doing what ifs, they're doing hypotheticals. And would this be an alien object and things like that? Well, technically it is an alien object because it's from outside our solar system. Now, just quick science lesson here. There's something that surrounds our solar system called the Oort cloud. Maybe you've heard of it, or maybe you haven't. I think it's O-R-T, Oort, O-R-A-T maybe. No. I think it's O-R-T, the Oort cloud. Anyways, this Oort cloud is made up of, it's a sphere of chunks of rock, of things left over. O-O-R-T.
Yep.
That's it. 2 O's. It's leftover materials from the sun or the star that was here before our star. Our star is either a second or third generation star. So there was material here that went supernova, and then according to science and the solar nebula condensation theory, became a nebula and then condensed to back down as gravity increased, and it had to pull that material from somewhere. Well, the Oort cloud is the leftover remnants, and so something is disturbing. Now, this is what I was saying to Michelle that we need to think about a little bit. Here's a thought exercise for you guys. What could possibly be disturbing the rocks that are surrounding the solar system, this Oort cloud, that is sending these large objects, these large rocks, toward the inner solar system and not just keeping them out there? Now, I'm saying there's two things that are going on, and there's probably more. I'm just quickly thinking about this. Number one, you now have technology with Atlas that is allowing us to see these things come in and become very close, right? And now we can pick them up with our technology. That's one thing, right? There's probably been all kinds of stuff that's come through that we never knew happened before. Now we know that it's happening. It's like, oh, there's bacteria. We can make penicillin for that. We didn't even know there was this stuff called bacteria. So an example like that. Or you need to think about that everything in the universe is moving, right? We're rotating. The Earth is rotating at about 1,000 kilometers per hour. We don't feel it, but it's rotating. That's how we get, 24 hours in a day. Then the Earth is revolving around the sun. The sun is revolving around the center of the galaxy. The galaxy is moving through the universe, and I think the Earth revolves at about 65,000 miles per hour going around the sun, something like that. Like we're really kicking butt. We're flying around the sun, and then the sun is, moving around as well. So everything is moving, and it's possible we're running into some stuff on our pathway around the galaxy that's disturbing some of this stuff. So I don't know, but me personally, I don't think it's alien technology, or, as some people would say, like what's the movie, honey? Starship Troopers, where they shot asteroids at Earth, right? The aliens did, right? Pushed them toward us. And I think they even use that as a weapon in, what's the one on Amazon? I can't think of it. Dang it. Come on, chat, help me out. What is the sci-fi show? The Expanse. That's it.
It's one of your favorite shows. How can you forget about that one?
Well, because I wasn't prepared to talk about it, so my brain wasn't preloaded. My brain needs help nowadays. But in The Expanse, they paint the bad guys, quote unquote, painted the asteroids with black solar absorbing material and sent them hurtling toward Earth, just kind of like Starship Troopers. So I don't think that's what's happening. I think there's outside things as we're moving through the universe at these incredible speeds that it's just disturbing it, and our technology is allowing us to see.
Now we just need something like this to show up in Spaceballs too.
I'm sure
when it hits the screen.
Yep. So I just want to double check. Yeah, 67,000 miles per hour. That's how fast the Earth is revolving around the sun. So I just needed to double check. It's been a long summer. You gave me a lot to drink over the summer, and you fried my brain a little bit. So
I did not.
So there's all that going on. So that's interesting. Now, I made a short. So at the end of December 2024, we did a show called What's in the Cards for 2025. And we had some of our favorite psychics and mediums and everybody come on. And even Michelle and myself, we kind of made some predictions and
I've got a couple things I would like to add to my bingo card.
Yeah. Well, I've got to show you guys this one. And we're not even talking about the earthquakes. We should talk about the earthquakes that are happening right now too. But this is everybody's good friend. Everybody that's here has been on his show and watched his show. It's Brian Bowden. Now I want to play you guys his short that I put up, and I want you to listen to his prediction, especially at the end. The end one is interesting. So check this out, what he says. Let me make sure it's turned up. All right. Here we go. So it's going to be rough for Trump, obviously, right?
Very tough presidency for this man. And part of me says he may not make it through the entire presidency. Did see something, which was interesting. Okay. On top of that, we're going to see a lot more anomalies coming out, weird things, as far as people reporting seeing the fae, strange elementals making their appearance around the planet in multiple spots. Of course, interdimensionals as well.
I just want to remind everybody, we're only 8 months in. We got 4 months to go yet. Let's see what else is gonna.
I was gonna say his bingo dauber can hit that spot.
Yep, get your bingo cards out.
Been a lot of reports of it recently. On top of that, we're going to have a lot of close calls with objects in space, specifically asteroids, meteors, what have you. You're going to see a potential hit not a direct hit on the moon, which will be visible from Earth.
So it's going to be rough for Trump. Obviously. Guess what we just had the other day? A hit on the moon. Yeah.
So there's another bingo dob.
Yep.
Get your free space.
Yeah.
And then if you go on and we start talking about natural disasters and earthquakes,
yeah,
I'm telling you, I think that
Brian said there was going to be a huge earthquake.
Brian's like one away from a straight line or four corners.
Yeah. Brian said there's going to be an incredible earthquake that hits Alaska, and Alaska will not look the same after it's done. Well, just not too long ago, across the Bering Strait, huge 7.8 earthquake in part of Russia, Siberia.
Wasn't it 8.7? 8.7, I believe.
Yeah. So, and tsunami warnings and everything else. So anyways, that's some interstellar object news and some predictions going on. And you guys might want to get over to Brian's channel and check him out and listen to some of his predictions. He should do like one show a month where he's doing his remote viewing or like predictions and stuff.
We need to go back and do a remote viewing show.
Yeah, we do. We do.
I'm scared of what my brain would pick up right now.
You pick up too much stuff. All right. So
I have sky trash going on in my head right now.
Dude, it's not right. It's not right. My brain is shrinking and becoming dumb. And you're like looking into the future and seeing things that have happened and stuff.
Like I said, I'm really, really hoping that the one eerie feeling that I've got right now is not going to come true.
Okay. Well, we won't. Let's not talk about that one. So let's go here real quick. Let's do a little bit kind of on the lighter side of stuff. Let's talk about over 2,000 UFO sightings reported in the first half of 2025. Yes, that's right.
Take that, disclosure.
The National UFO Reporting Center, NUFORC is what it's generally called, collects reports from the public. Interest in UFOs has been increasing after whistleblower testimony, and a bipartisan group of lawmakers is pushing for more transparency. So, and then we've got Ross Coulthard. So let's see what News Nation has to say. It says, there have been more than 2,000 sightings of UFOs in the first half of 2025. So this is up till June. We're in August now, by the way. But according to the data from National UFO Reporting Center, or NUFORC, the nonprofit organization collects reports of UFOs and investigates cases of unexplained sightings. The 2,174 sightings are an increase from the previous years. In 2024, the agency logged 1,492 sightings between the beginning of January and the end of June. And in 2023, 2,077 were recorded in the same time frame.
2025 is going to end up beating them all.
Oh, yeah. So UFO sightings in 2025, NUFORC collected more than 3,000 reports during the first 6 months of 2025. Because of the stigma around UFOs, the group notes that many of them happen years or even decades before they were reported. That is very, very true. You guys need to report these things when they happen.
Now, I remember back in 1979 when I was sitting in the backyard.
That don't do us any good.
Nope.
And it says those numbers likely only represent a small number of actual sightings, said Christian Stepien, the group's chief technology officer. Based on anecdotal evidence, he believes roughly 5% of sightings get reported. And then the time frame is always screwed up too. So if only 5% are getting reported, and those people are reporting things that happened back in 1975, I got jumped by a Bigfoot parachuting out of a UFO. That doesn't do anybody any good.
And ideally, I mean, I know of people who have seen things and that their closest account of coming forward is, telling me their story, or, maybe just
Yeah.
keeping it within a couple family members because of feeling safe.
Let's get rid of that stigma.
Yep.
Get rid of that stigma. Okay, so it goes on to say the group takes reports from everyday civilians or citizens, as well as air traffic controllers, police, and members of the military. Interest in UFOs after David Grush testimony, the topic of UFOs or UAPs, if you're talking to people in the government, has been in the headlines as lawmakers have pushed for more transparency on the subject. So this is just, goes into it. I'll link all of these articles that Michelle and I have been hitting you guys up with in the show description here once it's over, and I can cut and paste those in. But yeah, so lots of things going on because they've been talking about crash retrievals. And now all of a sudden, all of this stuff has kind of stopped. But I just got an email from the Paradigm Research Group, and that is Stephen Bassett's group. And it says here, Vice President Vance takes on UAPs. So apparently Vance is obsessed with the whole UFO thing. He says, what's actually going on? What were those videos all about? What is actually happening? So he's very much interested in learning this stuff as well. And we all know how the government functions. These people are voted in 4 years, 8 years. They're not on a need to know. So, go figure. We'll see if they actually get through anything, but you guys might want to go over and check out the Paradigm Research Group, their website, and check out this article that they just put up. I mean, literally right before I hit go live, this showed up in my inbox, and it talks about the VP, Vance, being very interested in knowing what's going on with these UFOs. I guess he did an interview on the Ruthless podcast. So, yeah. So anyways, there's that happened. And let's see, what else do we got? Oh, yeah.
One of my guys I like to watch.
Yeah.
I was surprised when Wayne pulled this article, but it's from Mary Joyce.
Yeah. So let me go ahead and get that for you guys real quick. I've got the Mr. Balance story that he tells pulled up in video, but I don't want to play it because I don't want to get copyright strike.
I was going to say, just pull up the picture because if you guys hear the name and you don't realize
everybody
who it
knows
is,
Mr. Ballin.
Only if they watch, the videos through Facebook or Instagram or TikTok. So he is a YouTuber.
Yep.
I'm waiting to see the picture.
Yeah,
come
and
up.
he's a former Navy SEAL.
Yep.
And this is from the website Sky Ships Over Cashiers. Yes, that's right. Cashiers. So Sky Ships Over Cashiers, because there's a Cashiers, what is it, North Carolina? Virginia?
It's one of the Carolinas.
Something like that. Anyways, there's a little place on top of the mountains called Cashiers. And so, yeah, Mr. Ballin is correct. And so Mary Joyce saw a video of him telling a story to Tom Segura, the comedian. And Tom Segura is a massive UFO paranormal guy. He loves that stuff. Oh, you got to see him live, Nathan? That's cool. Yeah, so I'm not going to play the whole story for you or anything like that. I just want to go through this. It says here, a YouTube video about E.T. speaking through a Mexican pilot while he was flying got Mary's attention. The story seemed real, but I needed confirmation that it was true before posting it. Well, I found it impossible to confirm or to get confirmation out of Mexico, she says, especially since my entire Spanish vocabulary could be typed on a single sheet of paper. Nevertheless, I decided to post the story because the man who broke it has a great reputation. He is Jonathan Bartlett Allen, a former U.S. Navy SEAL whose career ended in Afghanistan when he was hit by a grenade. To add to his credibility, his sister Evan Allen was a reporter for the Boston Globe and won a 2021 Pulitzer Prize for investigative reporting. Today, Jonathan is an internet personality known as Mr. Ballin, who shares true crime and mystery stories with his audience of more than 10 million subscribers.
And I am
Can
one
we
of them.
can we get 1%? Can we get 1% of 10
I was
million?
going to say I am one of those subscribers.
And by the way, the 25 of you that are watching us right now live, thank you very much, man. You guys are highly appreciated on this Sunday evening of us talking creepy stories and things. So what happened? So here is the essence, as Mary writes, of the chilling message from Mr. Ballin's July 23rd, 2025 show about E.T. speaking through a Mexican pilot. Now, I'll set the stage for you because I know a little bit about the story. There's a Mexican pilot, and this was on June 23rd of the 70s sometime. And the reason I remember that date was because this guy's experience happened on my birthday. So I remember it. And I'll link this so you guys can go to Mary's site and then go find the video for you to watch it. But he was basically getting his flying hours in, right? So he was flight training. I think he was going into the Mexican Air Force, some type of air training, maybe pilot training, something. But he was just getting his hours in. He's flying. He notices that his plane is starting to climb without any input on his own. And he starts to go through this weird foggy cloud area. And back in the day, you know, when you did flying or you're first learning how to fly, you go by VFR, flight training rules. It's called visual flight rules. Okay. So, and I know because I went through the same pilot training. You use dead reckoning. You use objects in a map and find things that you can recognize to know basically where you're at. You're not really doing any instrument flying other than knowing how to tune in certain radios that tell you which direction you're going, using a compass, using a stopwatch and your speed to time how far you're going, et cetera, et cetera. Well, this guy notices that this cloud starts to envelop the plane and the plane starts climbing and then he blacks out. The next thing he knows, he comes to in the plane hearing, "Are you there? Are you there?" You know, you're west of Acapulco doing circles. And the guy was like, "I think I passed out. I don't know where I'm at. You know, I need directions. Help me out." And so the guy on the tower is like, "Is there anybody in the plane with you?" And the guy's like, "No, there's nobody here." Now, the guy goes on to tell him, "Well, you've been talking to me for like 45 minutes. And he's like, "But I've been passed out. I thought I was crashing or lost, consciousness. Something happened." And so the guy's telling him, "Look, just come and land and we'll deal with it." Just gives him directions, tells him where to land. Again, he ends up landing back in Mexico, and all the police and stuff come and just take him. And again, you can get all of those details through the story. Now, how did Mr. Ballin know that this was a real story? Because when he got the transcripts and the story, he had to fill out special paperwork to get it from the library in Mexico, because the government had taken all of the radio transmissions from the guy while he was passed out. They had taken all the recordings and everything and locked them in a vault in the library, surprisingly enough. But he was able to get all of that conversation between the pilot and the ground controller, the air traffic controller. And this is basically what it boiled down to. So it says, so this was speaking through the pilot. So the guy was passed out. He didn't know anything that was going on. And he had a full tank of gas too, which was weird. The voice came back and said, "The pilot is speaking, but not of his own free will. We're using him as a microphone. Your equipment is too primitive. It is not important who we are or where we come from only that we are inhabitants of the same universe. Now, this is the pilot again, right? But it's not him. His voice, it says his voice changed. It was very robotic and not his voice, but coming from him. It says for the next 30 to 45 minutes, the voice being projected through Raphael, that was the name of the pilot, talked about humanity is the only intelligent species in the entire universe that uses warfare to commit violence on each other, and you are poised for a nuclear holocaust, and you may be exterminated if this continues. What? And then he came to. And so this is the video you want to look for. Tom Segura's Intrusive Thoughts and Story Time with Mr. Ballin. So this is the one right here, and where he talks about the human microphone. It starts at about 22 minutes. So I will post all those links and stuff once we're done here. So yeah, pretty well, there goes the cat doing its thing. Anyways, that kind of is yeah, I believe it too. I mean, nobody who wants to be a pilot and stuff is going to make that stuff up, because you get labeled a kook. Back in those days, you weren't doing anything. So I don't know, Michelle, what do you think on that story about the Raphael, the pilot, being knocked out and talking to air traffic control?
Well, you figure the reason it took him so long was to get that information from the Mexican government. So, but even Dorothy in chat had said that she had heard that story again recently, and more than likely it was Mr. Ballin and his YouTube show, because I too had just recently seen that story pop back up.
Yeah, and then I see here that dead fish cheese spread. It's a new one. Welcome, my friend. But says the story of the UFO smashing into the fighter jet on January 19th, 2023 just came out a month or two ago. We will definitely look into that. I'm going to look into that. That could be a very interesting news article for us to discuss. So yeah, so crazy times, people. I mean, if you got your bingo card for 2025, man, you need to like start dabbing and checking your card, because you might have a couple bingos at this point. We had Ozzy die. We had Lonnie Anderson just passed away today.
Hulk Hogan. Malcolm Jamal Warner. Again, check on your Gen X friends.
Yep. Gen X. They're trying to kill off Gen X, man.
Hey.
They're trying to kill us off. So, yep. All right. So, Michelle, what do we, anything else you want to talk about before we close this out?
No, we have a super secret guest that's going to be joining us soon. We
can't say anything just yet.
Just ironing out a couple details, but this name was delivered through a friend, and upon a couple conversations.
Oh man. This, like I said, this person we're going to have on here is going to be bigger than when we had Randall Carlson on here. Let me just say that this person that we're going to have on has dealt with and worked with people in the UFO UAP community and has been a lifelong experiencer. And he's 100% legit. That's all I can really say.
There's pictures, guys.
Yep. Which he just sent me. But he's worked with people in the community, and I know, as soon as I mention some of these names, you guys, your eyes are going to roll so hard that they're going to send an email to mi.ufo.podcast@gmail.com. You're going to send me an email with just a picture of eyes rolling. So I know as soon as I say this. So he's worked with Tom DeLonge, Lou Elizondo, Chris Bledsoe, and a list, let me just say, of scientists.
Can we
legit
say at least a little bit what this person has handled?
No. No.
Sorry,
All right,
guys.
well, here. Okay. All right. Go ahead, Michelle. That first
Okay.
line right there. Say what's on that first line.
It is going to be a super secret guest who has handled and turned in UFO metamaterial for analysis and is a longtime experiencer. So that person is going to be joining us soon.
Yes.
No names are going to be given.
Not yet. And I don't know if we're going to actually do a live show with him or we're going to do pre-record it and then be with you guys live as we air it later. It really depends on the schedules and everything. But yes, this person actually had legitimate UFO meta material that was left behind after he witnessed a UFO close to his home, and it dropped this slag type of material from the craft and then disappeared. And that's all I'm going to really say. He had it for years. He's turned it in. It's had all kinds of analysis done. And I have the legitimate straight up reports from the scientists that have done the metallurgical analysis on that material that was turned in.
Wayne, until we get this guest on, I'm going to be like the kids right now. Say less.
Say less.
Say less.
Say less.
Say
Yes.
less, Mr. Braden.
All right. Consider that the tease, guys. This is going to be huge, and we will make sure that we get, if it's off of a Sunday night and he can't make it, then we will pre-record it and we will air it with you all. Okay. And you just keep an eye out.
Just watch the thumbnails coming out.
Let's just say
Watch the Facebook group.
the people involved in this next interview live kind of out and far from civilization, and they need to get someplace where they have good internet and stuff, and we are working on making that happen. So like I said, we had Randall Carlson on. I thought that was going to be a huge show. I guess not that many people were interested in Randall Carlson at the time, or we are blacklisted off of YouTube again, shadow banned or whatever, because that should have brought in thousands of views, because that was 2.5 hours of Randall Carlson on here, which was amazing. But this will, I don't think he's ever done an interview.
He's never been interviewed. And again, Wayne, say less. Because we're going to wrap this up for the night.
Yes, we are.
I need to have a talk with Mr. over here before he gives too much information away.
I'm just excited to have him on because his story is so amazing.
We're leaving everybody in chat wondering who. But trust me, you're going to definitely want to tune into that one. So just stay tuned.
It's going to be massive. It's going to be a massive show. That's all I can make a clickbait title. It helps. I try, man, but I'll tell you what, it's hard to sit here and think of clickbaity things and stuff. My brain doesn't work that way. My brain works more musically than it does, coming up with music and stuff than it does with fancy words.
I was going to say his clickbait will want to throw in the name. So we're just going to keep him quiet for right now.
Yeah. And I don't think anybody technically knows him except in the field, except these people that have done the work for him. And maybe
it's why he has stayed quiet until now.
He's
talking.
Yep.
And that's all we're going to say. There's your clickbait.
Yeah. Let AI do it. He says, okay, you know what? That's a good point. Let AI come up with the clickbait. Okay.
Straw Dog. Oh, it's that guy.
Yeah, it's that guy. Yeah.
Well, we'll see if any predictions that you guys are having are going to be
right. So anyways,
guys, I hate to tell you that Wayne doesn't even have to use AI. Remember, he's married to an English teacher.
Yep.
So I am
I
his
have to
AI.
bug her. So, all right, everybody, we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. I see we're up to like 33, 35 watchers. So thank you for joining us. We really appreciate it. Some downer news today, you know, with some of those articles, those news articles. But
It's just it's the craziness
it's
of
the craziness
times.
of it all.
So you've got comedians buying the Warren House. You've got,
Yeah.
so-called teachers with, like a really crappy file from one district,
Yeah.
unaliving people just at random in Devil's Den, and lo and behold,
Yep.
Devil's Den. I mean, I hear Devil's Den. The first thing I hear of is, think of is Terry Lovelace.
UFO abductions.
So
yes.
well,
With
and
implants, nonetheless.
And by the way, for anyone who was looking into folklore, because I believe Dorothy in chat had said something, there is folklore of like a bear type creature, like bear man, kind of like how we have dog man and of course Sasquatch and Bigfoot and everything. There is folklore of that area involving something that looks like if a man and a bear had a baby.
All right.
So,
and Dead Fish Cheese Spread says, watch my movie, The Orange Orbs 2023 UFO Shoot Downs. Okay. I saw an orb very close. All right. Well, there you go. All right, everybody. Let me turn this chat stuff off here. Okay. Remember, like, share, subscribe. Once we're done, leave a comment below. Let us know what you think about all of this stuff. Please, it helps the algorithm. I'm checking do you think 3I Atlas is an alien craft? Out of 22 votes, 36% of you say yes, 64% say no. I'm in the no category, but you never know.
Okay, so Zach said a man, a bear, and a pig. Ooh. Ooh,
man bear pig isn't that South Park? Isn't that South Park, Michelle? Man bear pig?
Is it man bear pig? Is that South Park? Yeah. God, it's been a while since I've watched that. Start doing my Cartman impersonations.
No, please don't. All right, everybody.
Tonight.
Have a great night. Keep an eye out when we're gonna have that guest on. It's gonna blow your mind. So, all right, everybody. Have a great night. And
Take care, everyone. I got to go back to work tomorrow.
Yep. And remember, keep those eyes to that shell,
sky, and all around you right now.
Yeah, for real. Don't be messing around with shadows and